النور ألبسنا حسنا وتيجانا والأنس والشحنا نورا وتبيانا في أرضنا بزغت شمس بها آلاق والكون أنشدنا يروي حنايانا النور ألبسنا حسنا وتيجانا والأنس والشحنا.
I probably just look like an absolute idiot right now, sitting in a park when there's like boomers walking around with a laptop and like a phone with a tripod. I look like an idiot, but I thought the vibe would be cool because it's like all foggy and stuff, subhanAllah, so might as well do a Q&A here. The first question is by Deen Center, and he asked, what advice would you give to a 16-year-old struggling with Deen, school, business, fitness, etc.? Wow, you're doing a lot for 16 years old. For example, fitness. What's there to struggle about? You're only doing gym for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. All you do is literally maybe, you don't even have to track your calories if you don't want to. You're 16. If I were you, I would just focus on gaining mass. I know you're watching people like Iman Gaji and stuff. They're making like millions of dollars at such a young age, but that's not realistic. At 16, bro, you should only just focus on growth. Growth as in, first of all, your maturity. You're 16. That's just should be the number one thing, which is Islam growth and maturity. Many people have said this, focus on a skill, right? Focus on one single skill because you're trying to do all the things at once and you're not going to be specialized in anything. If you're 16 and you just focus on something that can turn into a business in the future, for example, you do something like content creation like what I'm doing, or you do something like copywriting, or you do something like Facebook ads, and you just focus on that in the next 5 years or in the next maybe 2 years until you're done school. By the time you're 18, you can start up and full-on agency, and you're going to be so good at Facebook ads that you're just going to make a lot of money if Allah wills right out of the bat. When it comes to Deen, the number one thing is Salah. And again, I hope you're taking what I'm saying to account, and I hope you're doing them right away, because if you end up procrastinating to this advice, you're not gonna listen to anyone else's advice, right? You're gonna procrastinate theirs as well. So for example, for Deen, the moment you consistently pray Salah, you find that Deen becomes a lot easier to maintain. The moment you get off Salah, then you start getting off other things of Islam. The moment you get on Salah, you actually have taqwa and you actually have consciousness of Allah, and then it becomes a lot easier to maintain your Deen. Now again, Deen comes up and down, Iman comes up and down. So all the things I've said, if you put them together for you, I would just live a very disciplined life, in terms of I would have a sort of timetable every single day just focusing on growth. Do not worry about money unless you're in a very dire situation where you need to make money or your family is starving. If you can hold up for 2 years, just don't spend a lot of money, and if you're gonna spend money, use that to your advantage. Don't do stupid stuff like buying Jordans. If you're gonna spend money, use it on just growth. And again, use this time for growth. You have so much testosterone and energy to put all of your time into just learning. By the time when you get to 20 years old, which is 4 years from now, bro, you're going to be a different breed. And the fact that you're 16 and you're already on self-improvement, focus on growth, focus on building your fan base, and focus on building your base, right? So that's going to be anything, copywriting. Focus on one skill, whatever that is. Get as close to Allah as possible. This is a time where at a young age, if you build your Islamic base, it's going to be hard to just fully go off Deen like all these ex-Muslims, right? If you pray your 5 salah, if you read Quran every single day, and you actually learn about the hadith and seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, you're good, bro. Like, you're 16, build this base. Just build the base right now, okay? So make a daily routine, a disciplined daily routine with focusing on growth. If you do school, do 1 to 2 hours of schoolwork. For example, if you want to learn a skill, maybe have 3 hours allocated just to learn that skill. If you want to learn about, I don't know, like anything about the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, allocate 1 or 2 hours of it for Islam, and then with your 5 salahs, have a discipline that don't do stupid stuff, okay? But also, allow yourself to have some fun as well, because you're 16. You're not going to get the time back. And I'm not going to say, fully have fun, start playing games and go out with your friends every single day. Don't do that. You have the most energy at your teens to build your base, so you can live out your 30s and you can live out your late 20s, when you can actually travel the world and everything. Inshallah, again, nothing happens by the qadr of Allah. So make sure that you make du'as, make sure you just build a disciplined lifestyle and allow yourself to have some fun as well. How do you prioritize Deen consistently? Salah. That's all I'm going to say. Prayer. 5 prayers. If, as I said in the last example, if you pray your 5 prayers, you're gonna have this thing called taqwa. I don't know much about taqwa as well, but it's gonna be a long discussion. But if you're gonna prioritize your Deen, I would prioritize salah, prayer, 5 times a day. The moment you stop your 5 times is the moment you let go of Islam. The bare minimum is what tells you who you are. If you're able to do the bare minimum, at least that tells you that you have some conscience that, I want to focus on Islam. What is your dream for the future, and what are you aiming for? Good question. The only thing is, I would love it to be more specific. Like, future that could be like 5 minutes from now, or that could be like an hour, or that could be a year, right? Now I'm gonna take this as a 1 to 2 year count. My dream for the future, right? So I'm gonna turn 20 in a few months, getting old. But my dream for the future, go do what I'm doing right now, and to build up my base, right? So I'm growing right now. I'm in a growing phase. I'm in my hungry phase, but I'm just growing. I'm learning what the seed. I'm learning what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm learning about business. I'm learning stuff like this, and I want to learn more. With that, I do want to get married in the next 1 to 2 years, inshallah. Again, everything is written, right? So I don't know what's gonna be my future. That's the thing. I can say I can have all these plans, but everything is written. Like when I'm gonna die, when I'm gonna get married, when I'm gonna build a business, how much I'm gonna get, how much I'm gonna make, issues, the goods, everything is written down. So I don't really know what the future is because Allah has already written down for me. It's like, but as far as I can apply, I do want to have a full-on business in the next 1 to 2 years, get married, inshallah. And I'm looking to graduate in the next 2 years, right? Because I'm going to graduate next in 2024. 2026. So then I'm looking to move out of this country. I do want to move out of this country, but if not, move somewhere else. But yeah, what are you aiming for? I'm aiming to please Allah to the best of my ability, and I know everyone's going to say that, but what other answer do you have? That's the only purpose of our life, is to please Allah. So please Allah through various means, through businesses, through sadaqah jariyah, and a lot of things to please Allah, right? There's so many ways to please Allah. What is your diet routine, especially when Ramadan? What do you usually eat for sahur and iftar? My diet routine is pretty, in terms of like balance. Like I don't eat a specific amount of food. Like I don't eat like just meat, or I don't eat just vegetables, or just vegan. You know what I mean? Like, or just fish. I try to stick to whole foods. So I'm Bengali, right? That's my background. So like we eat a lot of curry and stuff, but I try not to eat a lot of curry, which is like, I know I'm moving away from my culture and stuff, but I gotta prioritize health. Yeah, so definitely I focus on whole foods. For example, I eat like a lot of oats. I eat a lot of protein. I stick to high protein diets, right? I'm not gonna say I don't eat carbs. I don't even track my carbs. I eat whatever carbs I have in my house. I stick to the better carbs. Like I eat a bit of rice. Sometimes occasionally I would eat some paratha or some roti, if you know what that is. The biggest thing I eat in my diet is I stick to a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of eggs, like a crazy amount of eggs, right? High protein diet, not much carbs, but I stick to less carbs, but I eat some carbs, and that's it, right? It's not like a specific food. I stick to meat, eggs, a bit of veggies. I should increase the veggies. I need a wife to cook me veggies, and then definitely fish. I'm Bengali, I eat a lot of fish and meat, and again, that's pretty much my diet right now. In terms of coffee, I have a coffee problem. I drink way too much coffee to the point where I think I need to cut my coffee, especially for Ramadan. I think I'm going to be drained in the first 2 days because of no coffee. Yeah, so for Ramadan, for suhoor, I've changed up my diet. So before I didn't really care about diets, right? Especially last Ramadan, I didn't really care. I just ate whatever that was there. But this time, I want to really prioritize my Ramadan. I want to maximize my brain power. And in order to do that, for Ramadan, for suhoor, I need to stick to a more high protein diet, right? So it's going to be a lot of fish, a lot of meat, a lot of chicken, stuff like that, and some veggies as well. And just high protein powder, whatever, right? And it doesn't have to be a big meal. Again, you don't want, I'm not going to eat like a big meal. Maybe it's going to be like some chicken leg, and then I'm not sure, maybe I don't want to stick too much carbs during suhoor time. For iftar, I will be eating a lot more carbs and whatever my mom makes, because I need my culture, especially during Ramadan. Like my culture food is kind of like really good, right? So like I'll pretty much eat whatever my mom makes. Of course, I actually weigh out my food, right? So I weigh out my food, so I'm gonna be in track of my calories anyways. I'm currently on a cutting diet. That means I'm losing weight right now, purposefully. Don't worry. And yeah, so that's what I'm in. How old are you? I'm 19, turning 20 this year. What level of school are you in? I'm in second year university, second semester, so I'm about to finish the semester and go to third. What sports do you play? I play soccer. I used to play competitive soccer, but some stuff happened, and after COVID, it's really slowed down, but I'm looking to get back into soccer. What is some advice that you would give to young Muslim teenagers? Growth. As I said in the first example, growth. Just grow. Grow and be disciplined and hang around with the right people, and do not waste your time. Okay, do not waste your time, because growth and a disciplined lifestyle to the point where you're doing something where you're challenging yourself every day, because you don't want to be, how do I say it in a nice way, you don't want to be a P word when you grow up, right? So you want to challenge yourself in something, sports, BJJ, something you want to challenge yourself. Soccer, you can do that as well. Challenge yourself. I wouldn't focus on money, I would focus on growth, and also stop trying to act like people care about you. No one cares. You're not tough, nothing happens. You're just a little kid to everyone older than you. In their eyes, you're just a little kid. Most teenagers think, I'm like the man. No, you're not, bro. You're nothing. In a good way, you're nothing. You have stuff to do. You have to grow. Focus on learning and getting close to Allah as much as possible. That's the number one thing I'll say. Get as close to Allah as much as possible and learn about the Prophet ﷺ, learn about the Salaf. And with that, I would read the Quran. And I would just live a disciplined and a challenging lifestyle to the point where, you have like different blocks for each thing. So the daily routine will really help for that. How do you keep a level-headed understanding that worldly things are not important, yet strive to do good in this world and achieve great things? Well, it depends on your intention. You can have $1 million and you can use it to buy a Lamborghini. That's not going to affect your akhirah though. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, if you buy a Lamborghini, it's not going to get you to Jannah. It's not going to get you close to Allah. Or you can have $1 million and you can rather use that money and spend it and give some more zakats, or give a big sadaqah jariyah, or build a masjid. Now, what's going to really affect your Jannah at that point? Building a masjid or buying a Lamborghini? What's gonna help you? So it depends on the intention, right? You wanna achieve good things, but if you're doing it for the wrong intention, there's no point. But if you're doing something good for the right intention, there is a point there, right? And money could help you get closer to Jannah. Why? It's not really money, it's Allah giving you the risk, first of all. So even if you want to, of course we should strive to do good, but everything is written. But the money that you spend, that spending will it will get you closer to Jannah. Again, what's the meaning of money? What does money mean? Money is just a transfer of value, right? You give money has no meaning itself. Money has zero value until you transfer it to something else. Buying a Lamborghini, that might have some value to you, so you traded money for that. So money is just a trade for value, right? I would realize that I would never sell this religion for any sort of anything. I would never sell myself for getting more money. If I had to sell this religion, I would never do that. I would realize that having the right intentions and why I want to achieve great things. If you're achieving it for ego again, that makes no sense. It's not going to help you. But if you achieve it to help others, if you achieve it to please Allah in many ways, there's so many ways. Like going to the gym is one way of pleasing Allah. I would have the right intention. Yes, everything is qadr of Allah. So even if I want to do great things, if Allah wants me to be poor because it's better for me, again, for the people of Jannah, most people of Jannah will actually be poor. Right? So take that in. So money, you want to have good things, you want to have money, you want to have a high status, that could be your demise, and that could be your way to enter Jahannam, right? So you have to understand everything is qadr of Allah, everything is a test. Yeah, I want some money, but I want to use it for the right reasons, because there's definitely your intention. Who do you like to listen for Islamic knowledge? What books do you recommend? Well, a lot of things about Islam, right? Islam is a huge topic. Niche your ideas. For example, Islamic knowledge, okay, that's really big, right? So what do you want to learn about specifically about Islam? Do you want to learn about Prophet Muhammad? Maybe you're going through an issue in your life and you want to use Islam as a means to help you. Like you want to learn more about Islam to gain benefit. So it really depends. What do you want to learn, right? So for Islamic knowledge, I would first start by learning about the Prophet Muhammad with the Sirah. Quran comes first and then the Sirah, right? So the Quran and the Sunnah. That's the two things that Muslims should be. And for the books, the Quran. How can I start a halal business and how can you help me? Just choose a business that doesn't go against the Sharia. That's what I'll say. If it's going to have some sort of riba, some sort of interest, it's going to be consequences there. So that's a very big question, because all businesses is providing value to the marketplace. That's what a business does, right? So you can make a business out of anything. Like for example, there's big car detailing places, but it's really random. Like I can tell you, start a drop shipping business, but like what do you... That's very random, right? Like it's just very vague. So whatever you're good at, I would say focus on your skill set. What are you good at? Wow, those things are loud. I would focus on your skill set. What are you good at? Write it down. Actually, what are you good at? Right? Are you good at making videos? Are you good at editing video? And also, it depends where you are in the world. I don't know where you are. And then, for example, you're good at video editing, right? Then I'll do some research. What kind of people need video editing? Maybe a group of real estate people, they want to post content, so they need someone to edit their videos. Okay, maybe then I could research, what kind of videos do these guys need? And then I could reach out to them, and then I can start getting them as clients, and then I can create an entire business through that. I just gave you a whole business route, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Okay, you're good at this. Find who needs this kind of skill set that you have, and then just capitalize on that. That's the best way I can do. That's the best example I can give. Wait, if you found out you were gonna die 24 hours from now, what would you do? What would you change in your life? Okay, I couldn't even read right there. My bad. I mean, if I knew I was gonna die in 24 hours, I would make sure that I can be as close to Allah as possible so I can enter His mercy to enter Jannah. That's the most easiest, and that's the only answer I would say a Muslim should give. And I'm gonna be blunt here. Yeah, because there's nothing else in this world, right? If you're gonna die, you go two places, either Jannah or Jahannam, right? Of course, you have the barzakh, but that's different, right? I'm just saying, I would focus on Islam. I knew I would read more Quran, I would pray all my salahs, and I would prepare myself as how can I please Allah to the best of my ability. I would give all my sadaqah for the sake of Allah. How do you earn money? Like, which skill have you acquired over time? A lot of Muslims out there are kind of, two of one, extreme or the means. I would love to hear from you prioritizing Deen with dunya and setting the Muslim goals to be halal entrepreneurs. Business is just providing value to a marketplace. So how can you provide a value to a marketplace with your skill? And all the marketplace is they need something to fix their issues, and your skill could fix their issue. For example, someone's skin is really bad, so they need skincare to fix their issue, and then a company makes some sort of skincare. They go to them, they say, I can fix your issue, and then they fix your issue. Again, it depends on intention, right? Most people chase money. That's the issue. Most people chase money, or they think money is bad, and it's hard to balance. Trust me, balancing is very hard. But I would just say it depends on intention. Why do you want to build a business? Why do you want wealth? You don't need wealth. Again, wealth doesn't matter in this world unless you use it for the correct reasons. So why do you even need wealth at the end of the day? So I would focus on that. And if you want to focus on just goals to be halal entrepreneurs, like Muslim goals, if you want to set them, I would just understand that Deen comes before anything. So if it comes to me making money right now or praying salah, I would pray salah. And that's the easy way to answer, because shaitan's going to really come to you and you're going to get a lot of tests. But why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create humans to test us and give us the intellect to choose right between wrong, which He could simply create everyone to worship Him and do what He likes? I know the point is all the justification so Allah can test us and put us in hell heaven, but I'm still curious. What was the need of putting all of us through tests and rewarding us accordingly? Why did Allah create this universe, create humans, this dunya, so much suffering and test? Again, there's probably answers in the Quran, right? I would look into the Quran and the Sunnah. It might be Sahaba that asked that, but at the end of the day, you asking and you knowing the answer makes no difference to the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does what He wishes. I don't know too much about this question or too much about this answer to fully answer this, but at the end of the day, whether you question Allah or not makes no difference to the fact that you're still here and you will be tested. Maybe there's an answer in the Quran, I have to look into it, but at the end I have to realize that it doesn't really matter. We're all gonna die, we're all gonna be tested. Why did Allah create a universe? Allahu A'lam. I'm not sure, but it's here, so I might as well try to do the best of my ability. Again, I'm not sure, I have to research more on this. Allah is the creator, He does what He wills. We're nothing but slaves. Like, again, there might be a hadith about this, I have to look more into it, but I'll recommend that. And the last question, do you think Muslims need self-improvement? And this is a perfect question to end it off. Then this is by Faithful Flair. I would say 100%, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this YouTube, is to get Muslims on self-improvement. This is something that I noticed when I was in university, is that Muslims are automatically going to be more based. Muslims are automatically going to be just more equipped to withstand the propaganda that's happening around the world. For example, the alphabet movement and stuff like that, right? So Muslims are automatically a little bit more above, more based than the regular people. But the issue is Muslims are just their attention, and they're being so much weakened by their phones, by bad habits that society has placed upon them. Even some, even like some beliefs that is not theirs. It's not from the Sunnah, it's not from the Quran. The West has infiltrated the minds of the Muslims to the point where Muslims, despite having the greatest way of living, they live something else. They do something else. Alright? The issue is we Muslims need to be as strong as we can to represent, and this is one of the best ways to give da'wah as well. So if we Muslims are so weak by our phones and so weak by our bad habits to the point where we can't excel in our respective fields, like, we're done for. This ummah is done for, right? And the way this ummah might come closer to unity is by becoming the best versions of themselves and becoming rational and becoming just someone who isn't buying into this propaganda, who isn't giving their minds away to these people who want them scrolling on their apps 24/7. Like, Muslims have stuff to build, bro. Like, we are automatically above and more based than the average people. We have such an advantage, and yet we're still giving all of our power to these people. So that's the reason why I'm doing this self-improvement, is because people need to take advantage and take responsibility of their life and build something for the ummah, so we can represent Muslims as the best people possible. And that's why I'm doing YouTube, right? So that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing YouTube, for the sake of Allah, and may Allah, again, give me hasanat for this. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to be making more Q&A. This is really enjoyable. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Jazakallah khair, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.